Hey everybody, welcome back to Poormans Bushcraft. Before I get started on this um, sleep system combo ideas video here, just wanted to give a quick acknowledgement and I don't know what the words I want to use for this, but I recently have talked to some family members down in Tennessee and have heard what went on with the Gatlinburg fires, the 14 or so lives that were lost up there, the untold numbers. I've heard everything from a couple of hundred to, 1,000. I don't know about 1,000, but definitely hundreds of homes that were burnt down. There are so many videos popping up all over YouTube right now, and if you are curious as to what the devastation was in that Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge area, there are plenty of videos. All I can say is, my heart goes out to all these families who have lost their homes and their family members. I don't want to be quoted on this, but according to the news I'm getting, this fire that started in Gatlinburg area was set by a couple of teenagers. I understand that they were arrested and face charges for this, and I don't know to the extent of what the charges will be, but just keep your hearts open and your minds with good thoughts for the people who are dealing with this down there in Tennessee, and not to shortchange anybody else that's having fires. I mean, if anybody's been watching the news or watching your favorite YouTube channels that are from those areas, it's affecting the whole South, so to speak. We know South Carolina's got fires, North Carolina's got fires. So if you can, just keep an open space for that and think about that, and if possible, I know a lot of people may or may not agree with what the Red Cross has done or does or whatever, but the reports coming out of Gatlinburg is they are doing a good job, but they still need donations. And if that's something you can do, I'm sure if you get in touch with the Red Cross and let them know you want to donate to a certain area, whether it be Gatlinburg or Tabletop or however you can help, if you've got it, please, do what you can. But getting on to this video here real quick, I want to thank Bill down there in North Carolina for this. Bill is the owner-operator of Fort Bragg Surplus, and he sent me these a while back ago, I think. I'm not sure exactly how long, Bill. I apologize for taking so long for this video, but I hope you guys are doing safe down there, and I hope the fires didn't get to you guys. And we'll keep in touch with you and see how things are going. So with all that being said, sleep videos. So sleeping bags, tarps, tents, bed rolls. There's a vast quantity of combinations that you can use to do this. Bear with me here. I had to go down in the floor today, so I'm going to try to get comfortable. So a few things I wanted to talk to you today is one option for a sleep system is the Poncho and liner. I have done this style before. It does work fairly decent for summer / spring, early fall. I've had the Poncho a while, and Fort Bragg Surplus sent me the Poncho liner, and I am just bumping the heck out of this camera, so please bear with me. Here we go. So what you're going to do is you're going to take your Poncho, and how you normally button this, as far as when you're going to wear it, you fold it the other way, fold it the long way, and then snap the snaps and stuff. And before you do that, on your Poncho liner you will have little strings that you can tie into, like shoestring bows, or if you've got another little fancy way of doing that. And being 6'1", this actually does really good. I mean, you might curl a little bit on your feet, but to get in there, it breaks a little bit of that chill, and takes those colder nights, and even in the summer, off. And so for the warmer, quote-unquote warmer camping situations, you know, the Poncho and the liner can make a great alternative to a sleeping bag. This will pack a lot smaller than some sleeping bags. I know there's some sleeping bags on the market that pack into a little thing like this, and you know, that's great if you want to spend $100 on something like that. The multi-use of something like this, though, is, you know, it's your poncho for your rain, it's your ground cloth, it's a tarp, it's a lean-to, it's a shelter. Just sitting around, you know, the camp at night, you can grab the Poncho liner and wrap it around you, you know, cut the chill a little bit, and then putting it together like this turns it into a sleeping bag. So the multi-uses of this can, in some cases, outweigh carrying a sleeping bag that you can't afford in the first place. Now, price line on these, $30 for a liner, $30 for a poncho, depending on where you get these. I believe bills around the $29, $30 mark on the poncho liners. Depending on where you get yours, quality may vary, so, you know, use your best judgment of where you buy. I would suggest, if you're going to do this, make sure that the liner you get is the correct size for military ponchos. In an earlier video, I did the warm and dry blanket from 5 Star, and it is actually smaller than the US poncho, so it really doesn't work. I have another aftermarket poncho that it may work with, but that blanket is already, in a sense, a poncho liner and poncho, so to speak. Not really a poncho, but it's a weatherproof blanket. This scenario, you're still in that of being able to use, I love you too, buddy. That's my little boy. But, you know, you've got your rain protection, you've got your warmth, you've got a sleeping bag. I've seen a video where the fellow had a seamstress put a zipper in the poncho liner so that he could still wear this as a lined poncho. So I don't remember what the video was called. If I can find it, I'll link it. If not, I apologize. Just kind of search for it. But that's one idea for warmer weather sleeping scenarios. Now, on the opposite end of that, you're going to go into your Sub-Zero bags or your Arctic bags, or for a somewhat heavier but smarter option, in my opinion, is the MSS, the military modular sleep system. I've heard them called MMS, MSS, MSSS, whatever you're going to call them. It's the military modular sleep system. So the MMS or MMSS, depending on where you're at. This is the stuff sack. This is considered one part of a full set. When you look for a full set, it should say 4 pieces. That's going to be 2 sleeping bags, the bivy cover, and the stuff sack, compression sack. stuff sack, both. You don't have to compress this if you don't want, but it's 3 bands across, and I believe there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's a 9-strap bag. You can get this down to, you know, just, it's crazy how small you can compact this if you want to pull on these straps hard enough. Going into the sleep system itself, I'll show you the foot box real quick. Plenty wide on the foot box, as it appears this way. I will tell you, at 6'1", and having a bag inside of a bag inside of a bag, you know that it compresses down. So the foot box is still comfortable, but not as roomy as some people would think because of the way the bivy cover sets over this. Moving on down, or moving on up, should I say, as you reach past the foot box, you hit this area here, and this is where your flap starts coming in. This is going to cover your zippers and help block some of that wind that's coming from the side of the bag. Moving on up the bag, we'll get into this area here, and this is your entry area. Both bags and the bivy have a hood cover area. So your green bag, which is your moderate, that's your warmer weather bag. Then your black one that will go inside of that one is going to be your colder weather bag. And then the actual bivy itself. So you're looking at 3 layers here. I did use this a couple of times in those ranges of the low 40s to the mid-high 30s. As a just standard measurement, I was outside. It was cold. I didn't want to be out there, but I got in this thing. Excuse me, allergies. I got in this thing, and about an hour into it, it was just almost too hot. Before the night was over, I was actually taking this black bag out and tried being in just the black bag. Little side note, I was wearing the black ninja suit, if you will, for the military base layer, the Arctex or whatever it's called. But I was wearing that inside of here. This was still too hot, so I ended up coming down to the green bag and just the bivy, and I slept comfortably the rest of the night. I believe there is, inside the black bag, there is a baffle about just about your breastbone level, a little bit higher than your armpit, so you have a baffle there to help keep some of that warm air down in the bag when you move around in here. Pulling on these cinch cords, where are they at? They're on this side. So you pull on these cinch cords. Once you are zipped up or locked in inside the bags, you can pull these, and these will close up around your head, so that will create more of that mummy effect. If you really need to do that twice, you can do it on both the green and the black bags. You will be down inside of here, and as another protective level, if you want, there is a 1.5 inch or so square of hook and loop that will pull up over your head and close you in. Being a little claustrophobic, I don't like this idea. Condensation could build up in this, so I'm not sure, 100% sure. I just can't really sleep with things over my face. But like I said, you know, one bag inside the other bag, and these all snap together in a three-step snapping area, and I hope I'm getting this. You got a little bit of a Velcro closure there, big military zippers, and if you can see, we'll go right up here to the top. So the black one is snapped inside the green one, and then the green one snaps to the bivy. So you can lock it all together and bring it down to the full-on, closed in. If you want to zip these, you can. You don't necessarily have to. You can zip just the bivy, and that will allow you to breathe a little bit more. But if you're really super cold in this situation, you can zip one or two, or or one or the other, or both bags, and the bivvy cover. It has a nice pull string on the inside of the bivvy so that you can actually grab this and get it to pull up, and then get your snaps done on the outside. Again, this one is also from the kind folks, or the kind fellow at Fort Bragg Surplus, and just shopping around, he matches other prices, he's comparable to other, he don't match, but he's comparable to other places, and I just like to support the mom and pop shops. I could have very well went on Amazon or somewhere and probably got one of these, but I like to find the mom and pop shops and help try to get them some business alongside of my other reviews that I do for the big box stuff. But I think that's going to cover it. Super stoked about getting this out in some colder weather. We just got some snow. So, you know, maybe we try that here in the next day or so if the snow temperatures stay around. And one other thing, 6 foot and above, if you're in this, from foot box to head hood, it's a little play to adjust yourself in these to get 100% comfortable, because you do fill the length of this bag up. So if you are over, say, 6'1", 6'2", you might be a little pressed for this bag, with the exception of curling your legs a little bit. But as far as overall warmth, this bag will cook you if you use all 3 pieces. And yeah. So one other thing, this outer cover is a waterproof, wind resisting material. I don't know if it's actually Gore-Tex. I've never totally 100% been told yay or nay on that, but as you can see, the seams are sealed. It's a waterproof material on the inside, so you're going to get that water protection and wind protection, but you're still going to be somewhat breathable depending on, you know, how many layers you are inside this bag. But that's the MMSS sleep system from the United States military, courtesy of Fort Bragg Surplus, and the Poncho and liner sleep system, partially courtesy of Fort Bragg Surplus. So thank you guys down there. I hope you guys are doing safe, and remember, donate if you can to the Red Cross or some other organization that you know are helping people down there in the South with all the fires and stuff. If you can do that, you know, donate. As always, please hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below if you like, and share this on your social media. Help me get the channel built up so that I can keep these, you know, cool ideas and gadgets and reviews coming at you guys. And until the next video, we will see you then.